Hi and welcome to Career Conversations. Joining me today is Ahmed Suhail, who works as my social media manager. But that's not why he's here today. Ahmed and I recently had a debate about the Never Too Old campaign that I'm promoting on social media. And he specifically stated, well, the way I read it anyway, was that the over 50s should hang up their hat and let the younger generation take over now. Wow, Ahmed. So we thought it'd be really interesting to have a discussion about this and share it with you all. So welcome, Ahmed.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you for being here today. So look, Ahmed, just so everyone can get this in perspective, right? You're 23 years old.
Yes, I'm 23 years old.
And so does that make you a millennial, an exennial, a Gen X, or some other confusing term?
Well, those are actually terms that I use for different age groups, right? I'm actually a millennial. In a general term, millennials are those who were born in between 1981 and 1996. All right. So there are actually 5 different groups for this.
Right.
One comes with post-millennials, that those people are actually the kids and teens of these ages.
Okay.
One is millennials, that's me. One is Generation X, that's a third one. And those people are between 33 to 53.
Right.
And then comes the baby boomers, old people like you, Michael.
Right, awesome, thank you.
And we have another tall different generation called silent generation. Those people are actually very old.
Okay, cool. So look, a little bit confusing, and that's not what we're here to talk about today. Okay. So what I'd like to do, if I may, is quote what the comment that you made on the hashtag Never Too Old post number 6. Is that okay?
Okay.
Cool, I just got it here. I'll need to read it because it's pretty long. So the world is changing. This is what you wrote. The world is changing 10 times faster than before. At this time, the millennials, exennials, and Gen X play an important role in the workforce. I don't think anyone disagrees with you there. In today's world, many of the biggest movers and shakers are either from the millennials, exennials, or Gen X, the under 50s. Yeah, don't disagree with you there. Not all, of course. You then went on to say that Gen X already make up 51% of leadership roles. That leaves 49% anyway. Leadership roles globally. And some of them, with 20 years experience already under their belt, look set to become the leaders and mentors of the workforce. Within the next 2 years, 50% of the US workforce is expected to be made up of millennials. What actually matters then is that people in millennials, exennials, and Gen X can bring more to an organization with just 20 to 25 years experience than a boomer, a baby boomer, right? Because the world is constantly changing, agreed? And experience that they might, what you're saying is that the experience that a boomer has may not really matter in the decision making of today's world. Interesting comment. But the best comment that you made, or maybe not the best, but the biggest impact comment, is that you believe it's time for boomers to enjoy their over 50s and do something else and not have all that pressure, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, okay. Now that's a lot of stuff there, I think. Okay, right. But what I think I'm hearing, if I summarize this, the important thing for me is that you think the over 50s should hang up their hat and let the younger generation take over. And you think us over 50s should perhaps be sitting back and enjoying life, perhaps sitting on a beach and drinking cocktails.
Well, yes, that's what I meant,
Okay.
but probably not the main focus on my post. But even my generation is having a hard time finding jobs, right? And I feel like the Never Too Old campaign is actually discriminating against the below 50s. I mean, don't you feel like it's actually discriminating between below 50s?
Look, that's a great point, and I definitely hear you, right? And I feel the pain of everyone in the job market. However, the whole essence of the Never Too Old campaign is to promote equality and eradicate age discrimination against all barriers. And look, frankly, I've been in the talent management business for over 20 years, and I would have to say that 90% or more of the time that clients say they want someone, they say they don't want someone over 50 years old. They prefer the 30 to 40s, and sometimes even 45 is too old for some companies. And the reasons that they generally give is that the over 50s lack the energy, drive, motivation, and ability to grasp new technology. So I thought it was time to educate the employers, to educate the hiring managers that the over 50s do have a hell of a lot to offer their company. And I wanted to remind all of them of the reasons. And so I'm not saying that hiring an over 50s person is the best thing to do over a 20 or a 30 or a 40-year-old. What I am asking for is that companies just consider an over 50s person in interview and appraise them with an open mind and look past the grey hair, the wrinkles and the double jowls and see all the benefits that an over 50s person can bring. Then hire the best person for the job based on merit, not on age. And once again, if I may continue, I'm not saying that all over 50s people are great. And like all age groups, there are some great over 50s people and some not so great over 50s people. And a great example, I think, is the current USA president of a person over 60 years old who should be replaced by a more competent, more intelligent, maybe a younger leader like Michelle Obama, or even a more competent 90-year-old leader like the Queen of England. But that's a different debate.
Okay, I get your point. You want the companies to stop age discrimination, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But the whole point of the never too old post is actually focusing on the over 50s, right? At the expense of the below 50s. At a time when the millennials and the Generation X's are actually struggling.
Right.
I think we need to educate the employers that all ages are equally important for a company. We should really raise a campaign against discrimination as a whole than just a part. Both boomers, millennials and Xers are actually struggling equally, right? Because sometimes the hiring managers have weird concepts about who to hire. See, if a millennial, right? If you're a millennial, you don't have enough expertise or you are too young for the job is usually their comment. If you're a boomer, you're too old or you have too much experience. It's really hard to understand these hiring managers sometimes. I mean, don't you agree with me on that?
Without a doubt, I agree with you. And without a doubt, it's a tough job market out there. It's a tough world for a lot of people. But remember, I was in my 20s and 30s and 40s once, so I don't want to discriminate against anyone. And yes, young people bring heaps of things to a business. The youth are the generation who can fix all the mess that my generation and the silent generation created in this world. And the youth are tomorrow's leaders. And the youth need nurturing and mentoring to be better leaders than what my generation are. And that's where the over 50s come into it. So we need your age group and we want your age group in business. We would be stupid to ignore the younger people. But this is the same sort of stupid that some hiring managers engage when they ignore the older generation. All generations can add a unique value to a company's success.
So you do agree with me the fact that old people really made a mess, and now it's time for the new generation to fix things, because some say that what the world actually needs now is millennials to fix things, because old people have left too many backgrounds.
It's interesting you honed in on that point, seriously. But anyway, I agree with you that my and the older generation created a mess. And as an over 50s, I take full responsibility for the mess that we created environmentally. And for what it's worth, I apologize to the younger generation. We didn't know any better then, right? But we know better now, and we should be doing something about it now. If I was a kid now, I'd be saying to the old people in the world, what the hell were you guys thinking, and why aren't you doing something about it? But I don't believe it's the young people's responsibility to fix this. It's everyone's, old and young. And you know what? Everyone is never too old, and also never too young to make this change happen now. But that's another topic again, a really important one without a doubt, and something I am quite passionate about, but isn't for this discussion. So Ahmed, back to topic if I can.
Sure.
Can we agree we don't like discrimination of any sort and that we want everyone to be considered for a job, irrespective of their sex, their race, their gender, or their age?
Yes, Michael, I'm with you on that.
Well, that's great, Ahmed. Fantastic. That's cool. Look, thanks heaps for your input and keep on challenging my posts. I really enjoy it. So everyone watching this, help us get the hashtag never too old message out there to the companies. Share this video, comment, debate it, because awareness creates change and we need change. If you feel that you've been discriminated in a job because you're too old, then share your story on social media now. Make it respectful, just be honest and quote the hashtag never too old and tag me, Michael Leonard, to your post. Let's keep the awareness happening. Please don't forget to subscribe and follow, like the comments and share. To get the message out there to companies, the hiring managers and the executives. Drop us your comments or any questions, anything about your career, and I'll be replying to your queries in a future episode. Until then, stay awesome. Ahmed, thank you. You stay awesome. And everyone, thank you.